Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here today. Your soul is in the right place at the right time. And we are going to sing about it.
That's right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to sing all together. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In the right place, I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. In my soul, oh my soul is welcome here. Oh my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh my soul, all my souls are welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Raise your hands, come on. My soul is welcome here. 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 Oh yeah. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, it's welcome here.
Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah, and all souls here at Spiritual Life Center. Good to see you today again.
Good morning, Reverend James. It's great to be here, great to be up here with you. And we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred. And in the warm and loving energy of this community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and of course, the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, either watching us online or here in person, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. We know that every single one of us is here by divine appointment. And we're always so very, very grateful for the opportunity to come together in this way. And that gratitude extends to silencing your electronic devices. And please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, let's take this moment to connect with this presence. And we are reminded that we all come from this one presence, this one power, this one love that is known by many different names. And it contains all the qualities that are good and perfect. First of all, it is indeed divine love itself. And then all of his offspring of peace and health and wholeness and vitality and vigor. As we make these qualities the activity of our consciousness, or more accurately, just really bring them out of us as an expression of the truth of our being, we begin to anchor a little bit more of goodness, not only in our life, but in our world. The Spirit of the living God needs us to shine God's light. And we go forth gladly and joyously and with grace. And as we reach that critical mass, then we will begin to see the world when we are seen at our highest and our best. And so we're grateful to do our part to let God be God in us and see that spread throughout our communities and our world. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, we have a very important purpose here at Spiritual Life Center as reflected in our mission statement. And I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that mission by embodying and living out these 5 universal principles to the best of our ability in all of our thoughts and our words and our actions. Again, let's speak them aloud. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action.
And we have beautiful action this Wednesday. Our annual Advent Garden Spiral will be set up in here, and we invite you all to come. You know, this is a sacred ceremony, and it's for the entire community. It portrays the kingdoms of the earth waking to the coming of the inner light. And you have the opportunity to take a candle and walk to the into the spiral, and then come back out and bring your light with you and take it out into the world. The music will be by Catherine and Paula Mandela, and it's just such a beautiful, introspective evening. We will have a community meal at 6, and then the Advent Spiral ceremony begins at 7, and we hope to see you all there.
It's always a great service. Well, we've been hearing about the Gifts of Real Estate information session that's coming up, and that's going to happen tomorrow between 10 and 11:30. And what we'll find out is an opportunity to see where a person can be part of a win-win-win. There's a song by that name, win-win-win, a way to help not only Spiritual Life Center, but also the donors as well, for folks that may have a piece of property they want to release because of a multitude of reasons. And the program will not only help individuals support our Spiritual Life Center, but also the organizations that we support. So say you have someone that has a property, or if you have one yourself, that you want to release and don't have to unload it yourself, check it out. You get more information about that. It'll benefit both the givers and the receivers. So that'll be happening tomorrow. And it also is available on Zoom if you want to get more information about that.
Jewelry sale, over in the YOU room. Today is the last day of the jewelry sale for this time, and so go over there and check it out. There is this beautiful piece over there. It's a vintage Sagen piece. It's sterling silver with bevel inlaid stones, and it also has a hand-carved bone face with a beautiful piece of abalone in it, and the picture on the slide doesn't really do it justice. It's absolutely beautiful. But so they are raffling that off, and tickets are $10 a piece, 3 for $25. And so you go over there, and I don't know when the raffle is going to happen, probably today. But anyway, this is the last day of the jewelry sale this time around, so go get those special Christmas gifts. And also, today is the very last day that you can order T-shirts for right now. We'll probably do it again in the spring. So if you want to get a T-shirt ordered, today is it. So go see the ladies at the hub and or find RJ and place your order today.
We have plenty of colors to choose from. Yes, and we have the wonderful modeling our T-shirt to let you know to get one quickly and have it available to display Spiritual Life Center everywhere that you go.
Yeah, we were talking, especially if we do the MLK walk in February.
Yes, those will participate, yes.
Yeah.
And, the holiday calendar.
Oh, yes, the holiday calendar. Now, this is the Sunday services, okay? Sunday, Christmas Eve is on a Sunday, New Year's Eve is on a Sunday. We are not getting rid of the 9 o'clock service, but during this time, we only have one service on these days. So Christmas Eve morning, Reverend James and I are going to be doing the True Meaning of Christmas. We'll have recorded music. It's a meditative experience. Christmas Eve is candlelight service. Then New Year's Eve, we're going Burning Bowl in the morning at 11, which will give a lot of you the opportunity to come that you might not be able to. And then we have Blessing of the World Religions on January 8th at 11. There are a lot more things going on. There will be the Christmas morning brunch. That will happen. If you want the whole schedule, there is a green piece of paper on the welcome table that has all of the events for the season, so go pick that up.
Good, and it's very colorful, so if you want to put it on your refrigerator, carry it around with you, know what's going on. Well, each month we have a member of our Board of Trustees to give an update from the board, and our board president, Josie Johnson, is going to give the update today, so welcome, Josie.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Josie Johnson, President of Board of Trustees. Bringing you the update for December. The board has concluded our 3-month open board trial period. After careful consideration, we decided not to continue this process as of right now, but please be assured that we will continue the monthly board updates, which will include the minute meetings, the approved financials, and it would be in the newsletter. So if you are interested in receiving this newsletter, please go to the website and sign up to receive it. It'll come right into your mailbox. The board is looking forward to a productive new year. Can you believe it's 2024 already? In January, we will have our strategic planning meeting to set vision and fundraising goals for the coming year. During our planning meeting, we will be discussing the completed heart-to-heart data, which is a very detailed 34-page document. After the planning meeting, we will be able to give you more details. And we would like to give a big thank you to the Evolutionary Council Committee, which consists of Pam Logan, Ruth Rezos, and Brittany Jorgensen. And Claudia Norton was our board liaison for that committee, and thank you, Claudia. We will also participate in a joint staff board planning meeting to ensure that the staff and the board is on the same page. And next is our financials. So I'm not a real good financial person, so I'm going to read this to you. From the November financials report, we received $42,000 toward our $100,000 fund a mission efforts. The $42,000 included Giving Tuesday. $35,000 of the total money came as a legacy gift from a former congregant who included SLC as a beneficiary on one of their retirement accounts. And so we're so appreciative, and we're thankful and grateful for everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
And remember, of course, there are many activities that foster transformation here at Spiritual Life Center. So check out our weekly small groups and other activities and offerings. And if you want to find out what's going on, you can go out to the courtyard, look at the bulletin board, go check with the ladies at the hub. Today it's mostly a t-shirt department, but they'll still be able to tell you what's going on. And of course, anything you want to know about SLC is on our website.
Well, one of the things that folks do when they come to Spiritual Life Center is to make connections with like-minded folks who are on the path of their own spiritual growth, development, unfoldment, and making a positive difference in the world. And that happens through our activities, our gatherings, our classes, our workshops, and our special events. But you don't have to wait until that for something to happen. You can connect with somebody right here, right now. So in a manner that feels comfortable for you, just turn to a friend or a friend-to-be and say, "You are marvelous and glad you are here."
Please stay standing for our I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day song, and it's a reggae vibe. We're going to bring you some reggae, which we're really excited for.
Fun, fun, fun.
That's right. Do we have any?
Speaking of reggae, I think there's a song that the choir is going to do on
right.
Christmas Eve that has a little bit of a reggae feel. Shout out to the choir.
Yep. Woo, choir's back
Choir's
together.
coming back.
Yep.
I see you choir members over there. Hey, choir members.
All right, let's sing this song together.
Here we go.
I heard
of peace on earth, goodwill to all.
Take it away, Russ.
It's all right to dance if you feel it in your feet.
And in despair I bow my head. There is no peace on earth, I say, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to all. And peal the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor does he sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill to all.
Dance with us.
Till ringing, singing on its way, the world revolves from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime of peace on earth, goodwill to all. And wild and sweet, the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to all. And wild and sweet, the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to all.
Lovely. Let's take a nice deep breath together now as we settle into our chairs and prepare for our meditation. I'm going to sing this beautiful chant, which you should know by now. Oh, thank you, Ira. Little birdie told me we're going to speak our vision statement first. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. Cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And now we will sing this beautiful chant by Janice Kelly. I'll give you love.
Please join us in singing.
I give you peace. I'll give you joy. I'll give you hope when all your hope is gone. I'll give you light. I'll give you
So as we move into this time of inner knowing, take a deep breath. Allow your shoulders to drop and release any tension. For the next 2 or 3 breaths, simply watch your body breathe and notice how you relax with each exhalation. Relax into the center of your chest and bring a focus to your spiritual heart center as you breathe. And allow yourself to drift up into a light daydream. In your daydream, you find yourself on a beautiful, pristine beach. The sun glints off of a nearby boat, perched partly on the beach, partly in the water. And this seems like a perfect time to take some time for yourself. And you easily push the boat into the water and climb in. The boat rocks for a moment, but then gentle waves take hold and smoothly row you along. The gentle motion of the boat is soothing, and you relax. And you turn your face to the sun and breathe in the salty air. And now listen to the sound of the water shushing against the boat as it glides through the water. And allow tension to dissolve and tranquility settle over you. Float in tranquility. Though the waves are gentle, the boat begins to gather speed, and soon a warm, light wind dances across your face and through your hair. And you turn your face directly into the breeze, and as if laughing, the breeze ruffles your clothes. The air, easy and free, streams around you, gently cleansing your thoughts, your feelings, soothing and calming you. And you float in the soothing calm. Up ahead, you see an island, lush and green, gleaming like an emerald in the middle of the ocean. And as quickly as you have the thought, the boat turns in that direction and soon just skims right up onto the shore. You set your bare feet on the sand and walk up onto the grassy knoll. Except for the waves and the call of some seabirds, it is quiet. And so you sit down on the grass and put your hands down on either side of you, and then lie back and make full contact with the ground and close your eyes. And feel the power of your Mother Earth as she gently pulses and hums. Mother Earth's energy is very powerful. You feel grounded, solid, restored as you float in the silence. taking a breath, you open your imaginary eyes and you see that the sun has set and the sky is bright with stars. They twinkle and shine, and they feel so close. It's as if you can reach out and touch them. A full moon rises, throwing light across the water. Slowly, like a mystical spotlight, the moonbeam extends up the knoll, encircling you with its light. The light from the stars and the moon reach into you and fill your cells with unimaginable contentment, ease, and comfort. Any dis-ease or discord completely dissolves, and you are healthy, happy, free, peace-filled. You realize you have embodied the Celtic blessing that says, deep peace of the running wave to you, deep peace of the flowing air to you, deep peace of the quiet earth to you, deep peace of the shining stars to you. With gratitude now, take a breath and begin to return as you receive this blessing. Oh, my beloved, you are a child of the universe. Your current home is Earth, and you are loved and nurtured by her elements, the water, the air, the ground, the fire. These are your allies. They cleanse you, calm you, ground you, and heal you. They bring you peace even in the midst of chaos. Remember this always.
Peace is the promise I give today. There's nothing greater for me to say than to cast all my fears, cast out unhappiness and surrender to the peace I choose today.
Peace is the gift that I give today. No easy shortcut. Peace is the way. I will
stand up for greater good and surrender to the peace we choose today. Peace we choose today. Peace we bring today. Peace we live today. Peace today. Peace
Thank you, Dahlia, Lurie. I could just bask in that for the rest of the morning. And Soul Light Connection, -1. Dominique is is doing not, as an illness, I guess, of some sort. But we got Paula and Russ and Dana. Thank you all for your magnificence. Well, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Those words were attributed to Jesus from his Sermon on the Mount. And of course, Jesus is also known as the Prince of Peace. And as we enter this Advent season, we're moving toward that celebration of the consciousness that he brought. I remember when the first year I was here at Spiritual Life Center, maybe the first couple of months I was here. I think it was in December, and it was 11 years ago this month. And had one of those events that kind of sticks in your mind if you're just open to it. And those were all the little kids in Sandy Hook were killed. And it makes you wonder whether or not peace on earth is possible. And of course, the last couple months, unless you fasted completely from the news, which is sometimes a very good thing to do. You're aware of the conflict in Gaza. And I've had a lot of conversations with my son, who's always been a little bit more mature and aware beyond his years. And he's been following what's going on in that part of the world around him. And of course, he shared, how he was disturbed by what was happening and what he had seen, what he had heard. And he's been passionately seeking and understanding and getting involved in his own way. And I thought back when he was about 11 years old. He started his own YouTube video channel. And, he wasn't talking about video games. He had some insights that he wanted to give about Occupy Wall Street at 11. Now, I think a lot of people like 50 years old had no idea what that was all about, probably didn't care. But as I look at some of the current events today, if you take a side about what's taking place in Gaza, it's like touching the third rail. Because either side, if you take one side or the other side will probably vilify you. With all the stuff that's happening around us in the world, in our country at times, it kind of reminds me of a song that came out when hip-hop first came out, was kind of started its birthplace in Brooklyn. There was a group called Grandmaster Flash. And they had words in their song, a line that said something to the effect, "It's a jungle out there, make you wonder how you keep from going under." But as we look at what's going on in the world, we can say, no matter how thin the pancake, there are always two sides. And spiritually, there's always a third side. And of course, the most important side is the side that supports humanity, and particularly the children. And I think it was the suffering of the children that disturbed my son more than anything. And he was sharing me about a story about a filmmaker who a couple of years ago had went to that region of the world. And the folks were dealing with a lot of challenges and, chaos and confusion. And the filmmaker went to all the young kids there and asked them, "What is your dream?" And they had answers like, my dream is to be a teacher. My dream is to be a doctor to help people. My dream is to be a YouTuber. My dream is to be a professional soccer player. My dream is to be an engineer to rebuild my country. But there was one particular response that kind of caught my attention, and one child said, "Is there a bigger dream than returning home?" And I think when we hear things like that and observe such events, we feel, if we have any sense of empathy or heart, we sense a connectedness that reflects more of our true nature as spiritual beings. Because we're all connected on a soul level, on a spiritual level. So whatever happens to one really is happening to all of us, even if we're not conscious of it. So we think about that statement, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." And so this Advent season and this topic this week about peace, the season of light, how do we become peacemakers? I think the first thing you got to know who you really work for, no matter what your job may be. So wherever we go, we're supposed to mention God's name. You may not say it out loud, but you go into place, you just say, "God sent me. God sent me." And not only do you get a good seat, but after you mention God's name, then you get to have a good time. And there's a networking and fellowship and all kinds of things spring into existence that may not have existed up until that point because we remembered who we are and why we are here. And sometimes when you're working for the presence of God, which is our true employer, it's a celebration. Like at this moment when people come together who know God and we go in and celebrate the name and the nature of this presence. And then we have some people who have forgotten God, and you have to remind them anyway, in your own way. "Oh, God sent us. God sent us." And you got to remind them of the things like soul force. You use different words about things like how the soul force changed the universe, like great leaders like Gandhi and King talked about, and the power and the presence that moved mountains through people like Nelson Mandela and Dalai Lama. We got to remind them anyway. And if we do our job well, then we're not worried about not having enough of anything. Because we're understanding and we're working with an infinite presence, and thus we're tapping into an awesome, energetic, filled with the brim with ideas and resources and cosmic happenings that can only tap into when we realize it's not you or me of our little self that's doing anything. It is that presence that called us forth. And so to manifest God's goodness and to manifest God's joy, to manifest God's awesomeness and peace, we do that when we stand in agreement and realize that what sent us, all things are possible no matter what's going on. So we can look at the world today and see the challenges and seeming brinks of war. And people ask, "Do you believe peace is possible? Don't you realize it's just some sort of pipe dream? What do you mean peace on earth? What, are you crazy?" And we say, "Absolutely, yes. We're crazy for the presence and the power and the love of God, and peace is possible." Amen. And when an individual comes together and agree that it is possible, we don't necessarily ask how. But we're coming together in agreement that all things are possible. So we're working for God. We can just say together, "I'm working for God." Some of you are working for somebody else. "I'm working for God." That's what we're here for. That means we have to choose to break away from the belief of separation and choose peace. And we have to want to do this. Even if the other party or other persons or individuals or groups don't seem like they want to do that. Because there are some people, they don't believe in peace. They want problems. You got that little clip we can play now, Christina? If it can come up, there's memes around the internet. Turn it up loud.
"I don't want peace. I want problems, always."
Always. I think about that to some of the people who just want problems always. It reminded me of the time that I was with some friends in New York. We were in ministerial school at the time. We were going to an event. And we needed to catch a taxi, to go to where the event was. And we got in the taxi, and we told the taxi driver we're going to XYZ address and so forth. And he was silent, didn't say anything. He was driving. I guess I don't know where he was going. And we said, we're going to XYZ address. And he said, I heard you. I know where you're going. I said, we said, was no acknowledgement, no problem. So, we stepped back, and we didn't want to, get involved in any kind of problems. And we realized that we wanted to have a willingness to have peace and choose peace. And we were going around, and we had to go through a special street to get into a back door to get where we wanted to go. And he seemed to be a little lost, and we were trying to give him directions, and he just yelled at us, well, stop playing games. If you don't stop playing games, you will never get to your destination. I said, oh, okay, let's back up here. You got to go for peace. And so at the end, when we got to where we wanted to go, it was like $3 or $4. It didn't cost that much. And my friend, he only had a $20 bill, and he handed it to him. And he said, I can't break this bill. I can't, what are you doing? Give me $20 for this $3 ride. And we said, this is yours. You keep this. You need this. Keep it. We wanted to have peace. We got to prepare for peace. We got to wake up in the morning. And we walk out the door. Even if before we walk out the door, we want to be prepared for more love, for more peace than our mind may even imagine. And I think we prepare for it by willing to bring it. There was a story about a man who had a lot of experience of chaos and confusion and high drama in his home. And he was sharing that whenever he went to his home, he was met with a lot of ruckus because he had some kind of wild kids, and there was a lot of discord going on, and had some challenges with his partner. And he went to a counselor, and he was counseled that when he went home, when he put the key in the door, he was charged to become what he wanted to meet on the other side, and to not to open the door until he could be what he wanted to meet. And the man said that sometimes he had that key in the door, and it was there for a long time. But he would take a breath, and he would become the peace. He would become the love. He'd become the patience. He'd become the beauty that he wanted to meet. And after a while, when he would open the door over a period of time, he met what he brought. I think we meet what we bring over and over again. And if we want to have peace, we have to bring peace. And of course, along the way, we must continuously describe what we want to see. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. I think to manifest this peace, or what Martin Luther King called the beloved community, or what Paul in the Bible called a colony of heaven, we must describe the world differently. Understand what we describe, we ultimately see. We want to begin to describe the world as that beloved community, as that colony of heaven. And we do that by doing a few things right here, right now, from where we are. As I like to say in this work, it always starts with us. We never talk about changing the other person or changing something outside of us. There's a lot of places you can go. You can blame it on God. You can blame it on the demons and the devils. But ultimately, we have to take the full responsibility for our experience. The problem is many people have brought into a sense of separation. It breeds a sense of isolation, and then this behavior comes in alignment with this isolation and this separation. So to the degree that many individuals, they may have an active prayer practice, but they only have a tendency to pray for their friends. But Jesus challenged this sense of separation and isolation and said, pray for your enemies. And I can imagine when he started saying that, those who were around him said, I will follow him no more. Because most of the time, I'm sure most of us will spend our time praying for our friends and those that may be, infirmed at any given time. And we may spend little time praying for the individuals that we may consider foes, that do not like us, that we call enemy. And I'm not saying don't pray for your friends. Particularly if you consider me a friend, please pray for me every day. I need it. But I'm saying expand our point of view and begin to bring into our daily practice those individuals, those people that we may not like, that we may not agree with, that may be totally opposite from our point of view. But as we begin to reach out in an inward way, we challenge the perception of separation. We expand our purview of what a neighbor is. And then we begin to discover, as Jesus described, the enemy is in our own mind. Someone once told me that whenever we have a conflict with someone else, he said that you're not at war with the other person. You're at war with your concept of them, what you believe them to be. So we want to expand our prayer practice, and we want to make it a practice that we consciously embrace the individual, past, present, or future, that we may be at odds with. And when I say future, some folks may be planning to be at odds with some people. And right now, they might be planning what they're going to say when they see them tomorrow. They got it all mapped out in their mind, in their awareness, and they say things like, okay, when I see him, when I see her, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. But they forget that if they keep giving away a piece of their mind, they won't have any mind left after a while. So past, present, future, we begin to break through the sense of separation. And this one strategy is to anchor that peace that exists in the mind of God in our own life. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. It begins on an individual level. Our world is nothing more than a reflection of our collective consciousness. And if we do not do it on an individual level, it's not going to happen on a national or world level. So we might ask ourselves, when was the last time we may have sent to our so-called enemy or foe or someone we're at odds with a love note? When was the last time we were maybe upset with somebody and somebody we held a grudge against them, and we just decided to send them an anonymous or signed letter saying, you are a loving child of God. You're all right. Nobody's raising their hand right now, but that's okay. I'm not raising mine now either, because it's simple to say, hard to do. If it hasn't happened on an individual level, and we have not expanded our point of view to pray for our so-called enemies, then nationally we cannot ask for our governments to drop bread instead of bombs if we're not reaching out in the same way. So I think the challenge for us to foster this consciousness of peace or this beloved community is to enlarge our prayer circle to include those we have cast out of our hearts. That perhaps on a regular basis, just start maybe once a month. We go through a checklist, perhaps of someone we had odds with, and send them something. Somebody told me when I had some odds with somebody, he just said, send them a note with some money in it. And I said, I will follow you no more. I didn't have a lot at the time. But he said, just send a card and said, I think you're beautiful. And watch, within our own minds, the boundaries at our separation begin to dissolve. And begin to feel good by allowing the all good, the all love of God to be expressed through us. Like I said, it's simple, but not always easy when you write it down. But we know it's not necessarily meant to be easy. Sometimes spiritual work is actually hard because we see so much unlike peace taking place around us in our world, and sometimes it touches our soul. There was once a king who offered a prize to the artist who would paint the best picture of peace. And many of the artists tried. And the king looked at the pictures, but there were only two that he really, really liked. And so he had the moment that we had to choose between them. And one picture had a very calm lake, and the lake was a perfect mirror of peaceful, towering mountains around it. And it was overhead. There was a a blue sky with fluffy white clouds, and all you saw in this picture was a scene of perfect peace. But the other picture was different. It had mountains too. But they were rugged, they were bare. And above those mountains was an angry sky from which rain fell and lightning flashed. And down the side of the mountain tumbled foaming waterfalls. This did not look peaceful at all. But when the king looked closely, he saw behind the waterfall a tiny bush growing in a crack of the rock. In the bush, a mother bird had built her nest. And there, amid the rush of angry water, sat the mother bird on her nest in perfect peace. And so the king chose the second picture for the prize. And the people wondered why. Why did he pick that picture? And the king went on to explain that peace does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no trouble. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no hard work. Peace means that during those things to still be calm in our heart. So remember that peace is not the absence of war. Peace is not the absence of negativity. Peace is a dynamic spiritual quality of its own. It is real. It is dynamic. It is alive. It is potent. And you and I know when we are in the realm of peace, it is not the absence of something. It is the presence of something. Like those kids who were sharing their dreams in the midst of the chaos around them when the photographer asked them those questions. In the midst of those calamities, they went to a place of peace to capture their dreams. And we know in order for there to be peace in our community, ultimately the world and our world as well, we must begin with us. So we continuously ask, what can I anchor in my life to bring about this peace? And I believe when there's a critical mass that asks that question and anchor peace in their life, we will shock the world. We will shock the nation. And imagine for a moment our politicians, which are simply a reflection of the mass awareness and consciousness. Imagine those politicians are now followers of that consciousness. So when decisions are made, the first inclination is about reconciliation. The first decision is about peace and love and building bridges, making neighbors, world citizenship, rather than protection, separation, and an us versus them awareness. So our assignment, should we choose to accept it, is to remember the all good of God and realize it's everywhere present, and it is our duty, it is our mandate, it is our commission to participate in it. So when we pray for our so-called enemy or the person that we are at odds with, we do so understanding the enemy is a reflection of those unresolved separations within our own soul, so that the national, cultural, and religious trends shift to inclusivity, reconciliation, forgiveness, harmony, and I dare say love. For love is not merely a nice thing. It's seeing the potential in everyone. Because if we stop seeing it in everyone, then the light goes off in us. So this Advent season, in fact, every day of our life, let's live as if there's only one love, because it is, and that is the love of God. Let us live as if there's only one life, because it is, and that is the life of God. Let us live as if there's only one people, because they are only children of God. Let us think and live from that awareness and watch as the great world in which we live begins to reflect the glory of this living God, that colony of heaven, that beloved community, which is God's plan for every person and all of us, so that we may be those peacemakers and be called the children of God. Peace and blessings to you. Well, next week, Reverend Deborah is going to continue with our Advent series, the Season of the Light, and she's to talk about joy and love. And well, Reverend Janae is going to give the meditation, and Lurie and Soul Light Connection will provide our musicality for next week. And also next week is what they call Wear Your Ugly, Interesting Christmas Sweaters. So go reach into the back of your closet, find that old Christmas sweater, whatever it is, and we're going to just act silly next week with our Christmas sweaters, our ugly Christmas sweaters. If you want some prayer immediately after the service, our chaplains are available. Just look for someone that's wearing the white stoles. They'll be there in the courtyard. And if you have something that you're going through or growing through, they're more than happy to pray with you to see it from a higher point of view. And if you have something you just want to celebrate, you can pray about that and just bring more of that into your life as well. For those who are online that are new, I just want to stay in contact with Spiritual Life Center. You can fill out an online welcome card. You can do that anytime, even for the people who are here today that might be new. But more importantly, I want to just ask, are any first-timers here today? Any newcomers here today? Any first-timers? Any newcomers? Okay. All right. We got somebody in the back there. Thank you so much for your presence this morning. We appreciate you. We behold the magnificence that you are, and we see you doing wonderful things, and we thank you for bringing your consciousness and joining us here this morning. For those who are online, you also fill out the card, and we'll help you stay in contact with what's going on, and wear the purple ribbon, and you get a special greeting from one of our friends of Spiritual Life Center today. For those online who would like to support Spiritual Life Center with their gift or offering, you can simply text SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab, and give in other ways, including by mail. And if you're watching us online, Facebook or I think our YouTube channel, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, because the more we do that, the more we offer it to other people to incorporate these ideas into your life, and we can make a difference in the world. For those who are here today who would like to give their offering, I just invite you to symbolically raise it to the heavens. And if you've already given, just know that you're in a flow of a spiritual principle that whatever you give out, it does come back. It comes back to us in ways we never imagined and from directions we never thought of. So with that, as part of our awareness and our energy, let's affirm our offertory blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
Prepare your heart to feel a long-awaited joy. Expect your mind to be at ease. Awaken the child inside, cast every care behind. Enjoy every moment of this peace. There's a time for every season and a purpose for all things. Just remember love's the reason for the song we sing. Peace on earth, goodwill transcend. This is the season for family and friends, sharing our love, the most precious gift. Christmas is here again. Let the joy begin. Peace on earth, make your amends. This is the season for family and friends, sharing our love, the most precious gift. Christmas is here again. Let the joy begin, joy begin. Let's make new memories, the kind that never fades. Enjoy the simple times, and remember love is kind. There's a time for every season and a purpose for all things. Just remember love's the reason for the joy we see. Peace on earth, goodwill transcend. This is the season for family and friends, sharing our love, the most precious gift. Christmas is here again. the joy begin. Peace on earth. Make your amends. This is the season for family and friends. Sharing our love, the most precious gift. Christmas is here again. Let the joy begin, joy begin. Peace on earth, love each other. Peace on earth, love one another. Peace on earth, let the joy begin inside your heart once again. Goodwill transcends. This is the season for family and friends, sharing our love, the most precious gift. Christmas is here again. Let the joy begin. Peace on earth. Make your amends. This is the season for family and friends, sharing our love, the most precious gift. Christmas is here again. Let the joy begin, joy begin. Let the joy begin. Let the joy begin. Love one another. Let the joy begin. Love your brother. Let the joy begin. Peace on earth. Love the children. Peace on earth. Love one another. Joy began. Joy began. Joy began. Joy began. Joy began. Joy began.
Thank you, Dahlia, Laree. Once again, y'all just have them angelic voices coming through. And we have just a versatile group. I saw Russell over here playing the guitar, and then he hopped over there to play the bass, you know. Thank you all for doing what you all do. Let's take this moment then to bless those who have blessed us with their gifts or offerings, whether online, whether automatic giving, to provide a place for those who wish to come and recognize and remember the truth of who they are, that they are indeed the peacemakers, and they are called the children of God, as we all are. We also bless those who have left their prayers in the prayer box today or throughout the week. And we remember that, yes, we all have challenges that we go through and grow through in our life. But we remember this. There is an all-knowing, everywhere present, all-powerful something that we call God that has the answer even before we know what the prayer is. We're remembering that there's a statement that says in the scriptures, before they call, I've already answered you. And we know that there is a divine and perfect answer to every seeming problem that we have in our life and in our world. So no matter what it looks like in the outside, no matter how challenging it may be, we remember that there is a divine and perfect solution to all the things that are taking place in our life or in our world. For the Spirit of living God indeed has the answer before we realize what question to ask, what belief to have. It has brought forth the answer and is waiting for a consciousness big enough, bold enough, courageous enough to rise up to be in one with this answer. And we see seeming miracles take place, not only for ourselves, but for our world. Again, we remind ourselves that God needs us to shine His light so we can anchor the peace, the love, the joy, and wisdom that is waiting to be expressed. We are the ones that really show up in how God gets around in this dimension. Without God, with God alone, we cannot go forward without this presence being expressed through us. So we take our role seriously. We remember that, yes, we work for a presence that is beyond human understanding, but we are here to say, God sent me. God sent me to anchor the peace, the love, the joy, the wisdom, the health, the wholeness in my own unique way so we can see the magnificence that is waiting to be expressed in every area of our life. It is done. We are grateful, and so it is. Amen. Let us join together as we affirm and speak our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. I am. And all is well. Let's sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we, Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Oh, let it begin with me. That means all of you.
Peace and blessings. Have a great day. And hang around for some post-service music from our team.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.